The Foundation for European Societies of Arms Collectors, FESAC, has been involved in this legislative process since November 2015. It has been a very hard and difficult path for us to follow. However, we can say that following the very drastic proposal by the Commission, the text that we have going to Parliament very soon is definitely much better than what had been proposed by the Commission. The changes that have been achieved were mainly thanks to the stakeholders' participation in these discussions, but to an equally big extent to the efforts by MEPs, by the rapporteur, who worked very hard to have the outright bans rejected. Therefore, we are definitely in a far better situation than we were previously, and we are very thankful to those MEPs who worked hard in this regard. We are also thankful to Council members who spoke sensibly and who introduced sensible changes, because this is why we have managed to achieve these changes. Nevertheless, we must be very honest with our followers, with our members, and we must also say that the current text contains several pitfalls which, unless addressed effectively, will result in what I would say are three outcomes that were definitely not perceived by the stakeholders and by the MEPs who worked for this change. The first one is that the text will allow for such different interpretation, and we will have countries that will apply them in a very open and democratic way, but we also have countries that will apply them in a very restrictive way, and therefore we are going away from harmonization. And rather than realizing a harmonized system throughout the European Union, we will effectively be seeing an even greater divergence in national laws. The other outcome will be that a number of very law-abiding, very honest citizens stand to be criminalized in a very severe way, and they would be totally innocent, but the way that the text is, it is a potential minefield for prosecution against people who wouldn't know what actually has happened and will be the victims of this change. Finally, another effect which was definitely not foreseen, but which is definitely there, is that member state authorities will be very hard pressed to apply regulations that are practically unenforceable. In particular, the magazine ban, which will definitely not work and which will definitely cause a lot of resources, valuable member state resources, to be lost in chasing something which is unachievable. So these are the three causes of this text. What are we doing about it? We can't do anything about it at this stage. It is a group of MEPs that, as far as we know, have prepared a set of proposals, a set of amendments that can be tabled in the plenary in March. What we would like to see is a sensible approach. We started off from something which was anything but sensible. In fact, I can say that the Commission proposal was really an act of madness, something which nobody would ever have dreamed could happen in Europe, where you have an institution recommending the destruction of historical heritage in collections, in museums, recommending the confiscation of personal property without any form of compensation. I mean, this is what we started from. So we need to take a very sensible approach now, in my opinion. We are not looking at big changes, but we are looking at technical improvements in the text, which will help a lot in ensuring that we do not have situations where EU citizens are penalised and EU member state authorities end up having to prosecute citizens that they would not like to see prosecuted. So my appeal is that the amendments that will be tabled will be seriously considered as technical improvements with a common aim of achieving more confidence by EU citizens in the European Union.